what interests me the most nowadays about out-of-body experience and related phenomena is the fact that these experiences can create a cognitive shift in people, such that they live their life now from a different point of view. Like the mind once expanded cannot come back to its original shape, right? That sort of idea. I'm sure you've all heard of the overview effect. There's a short 20-minute documentary you can find on Vimeo. There's also a Netflix documentary called One Strange Rock, where astronauts talk about this experience they call the overview effect, where once they see the Earth from outer space, they are changed forever. And they no longer see themselves as Portuguese, Australian, South African, or whatnot. They see themselves as humans on Earth. Planet is their home. Their identity is planetary. Now, take that concept and now expand it to a cosmic perspective. When I had my first out-of-body experience, I was able to identify myself as a being with capital B, right? That was beyond being a male or being Portuguese, Indian, American, whatever I am. I have a mixture of things now. Being more than just a human body, really, and being a being of the cosmos. So it's like an overview effect on steroids, right? So not only can you see yourself out of the earth and look back and realize we are all part of this organism that's very sensitive and fragile, and we have to take care of it, and we're all an extension of it, and it is an extension of us. Now we can understand ourselves and as an extension of each other, of a source of consciousness, right? That goes even beyond the earth and even beyond the physical dimension. So how can you come back from that, and especially if you have a number of these experiences, and be the same? Also, you get the sense that outside the body or beyond the body, that there are these different levels of reality. So when people say I had an OBE, what do they really mean? Because were they in the extra physical Sydney, or were they like in another realm that has nothing to do with the earth, but that is really far detached from our plane of existence, something of really another reality altogether? And the OBE allows us to experience these multiple realities. And what I come away from having these experiences is that the world is multidimensional, multi-realm, multi-level. And the reason it's that is because you find in our multiple reality world that being falls in a spectrum of evolution, spiritual development. And at any given moment, you can find beings that are extremely evolved, so evolved we cannot imagine it, because there's no reference to them on Earth, on human history even. Like there is nothing like you've ever met, and you will never meet someone on Earth like them, right? And then you have people that you just wish you never knew about because they're so horrible, right? So there's this huge spectrum, and we're somewhere in the middle. But we're working our way, right, to become more and more spiritually mature. But this is kind of apparent just based on human history, that there's different kinds of people on Earth. But when you go outside the body, you actually see that there's different communities. And these communities are like co-created extensions of the beings that inhabit them. And if there's a spectrum of evolution of consciousness, then there is also a spectrum of dimensions. And this is what I've experienced, is that there are some realms outside the body, they're almost carbon copies, but only almost, of the physical world. And there are some that are much more refined and abstract, and they're characterized by higher sentiments and ideas. So, and then there's dimensions that are more like transitional, where people are getting more removed from physical trauma and experiences and attachments, and they're moving on. There are places where they're preparing to come back, because it appears to be a sort of iterative process, alternating between physical and extra-physical, at least for some time.
Mm.
So you actually can see people transitioning there, people coming back, people preparing to come back. And it's different to kind of witness it and then to just kind of, I don't know, hear about it or read about it, and
Mm.
be able to be a witness to it, to at least some portions of it, is a whole, it changes everything. You know, it's
Mm.
experiencing something, reading about it, hearing about it are two different, completely different things. One, it's almost an article of faith. And the other one is almost an article of knowledge, right? And it makes the whole, makes a big difference.